Thomas and friends, making tracks to great destinations.
Dear Christopher, here is your friend Thomas the Tank Engine. He wanted to come out of his station yard and see the world. These stories tell you how he did it. I hope you will like them because you helped me to make them. Your loving Daddy.
The island of Sodor is surrounded by beautiful blue sea. It has fields of green and sandy yellow beaches. There are rivers, streams, and lots of trees where the birds sing. There are windmills and a coal mine, and docks where visitors to the island arrive. The island also has lots and lots of railway lines. Who's that puffing down the track? It's Thomas! Hello, Thomas! Hello, everybody! Welcome to the island of Sodor.
Today on the island of Sodor, we'll see what happens when Henry loses his freight cars. And we'll share some fun times with Devious Diesel. But first, Percy sees something surprising in the sky. Here are some dots. If we join the dots, we will see one of the engines on Sir Topham Hatt's railway. I wonder which engine it is. Let's join the dots and find out. Here we go. There's a tender at the back, and there's the cab, and the dome, the funnel. Can you tell who it is yet? This engine's got 1, 2, 3, 4 wheels and one wheel arch just in front of the cab. Do you know who it is? It's Edward. Hello, Edward. Toby is puffing along his branch line. Suddenly, he sees something. There's a strange-looking shadow in the field. Toby wonders what it is. Can you guess? This shadow is long and it has 4 long arms. The 4 long arms are going slowly round in a circle. Can you guess what it is? That's right. It's a windmill. There's another shadow on the side of Farmer McColl's barn. Toby wonders what it is. Can you guess? The shape at the top looks like a hat. And there are 2 arms that stick straight out. Can you guess what it is? That's right. It's a scarecrow. Now, Toby sees another shadow. This shadow is getting smaller and smaller. Toby wonders what it is. Can you guess? It's a round shape with something spinning at the top. Can you guess what it is? Of course. It's Harold the helicopter. Hello, Harold. Did you guess what all the shadows were? Toby did. Well done, everyone. The island of Sodor is a wonderful place. There are lots and lots of engines. Who's that puffing along the track? It's Diesel. Diesel is a diesel engine. He runs on diesel oil, not coal. Diesel is very proud to be the first diesel engine to arrive on the island of Sodor. He's black, with 6 wheels, and is sometimes called Devious Diesel. He enjoys telling steamies that soon they'll all be sent to the scrapyard. One day, Diesel was at the quarry. Thomas arrived to help. Diesel decided to tease Thomas. First, he shunted Thomas under the hopper. He told Thomas he was a stinky steamy. Then Diesel told Thomas that Sir Topham Hatt was thinking of scrapping steamies. Thomas was worried, and that made Diesel laugh. The next day, Salty arrived with new fuel from the mainland. Diesel was very excited. The new fuel made his axles tingle. He revved his engine faster and faster. He wanted Thomas to see he was the fastest engine in the world. Suddenly, Diesel's engine coughed. Then it started to splutter. Black, smelly smoke billowed from his exhaust. The yard manager said it was the new fuel. Water must have leaked into the tanks. Diesel felt very sick. He couldn't do anything. Worse, Diesel had to wait to be rescued. Thomas arrived with some new fuel. When his tank was filled, Diesel's engine whirred and purred perfectly. Diesel thanked Thomas for making him feel better. Even Diesel likes to be really useful. One day, Diesel met Emily at the water tower. Emily was to pick up special passenger cars for Gordon. Diesel wanted to tell Emily something important. But she whooshed away huffily. When Emily arrived to pick up the cars, Diesel had taken them. Emily chased Diesel all over the island. Diesel was fast, and Diesel was devious. Emily couldn't catch him. Until finally Diesel's engine broke down. It was too old. Diesel told Emily he had taken the cars because he was upset. Gordon wasn't the only one to set a record. Diesel had set a record too. He had shunted more freight cars in one day than any other Diesel. Emily wanted Diesel to have a prize. So later, she puffed in with a brand new engine. Diesel was so happy, he forgot to be oily. Sir Topham Hatt and all his engines wanted Diesel to know he was special. Diesel had never felt special before. He even started to think that maybe steamies weren't so bad after all. All the engines on Sodor are a bright, bold color. But this engine has been working in the coaling plant today and is covered in coal dust. How can you tell who it is? This engine has a round face and boiler. Do all the engines have round faces? No. Toby and Salty have square faces, so it can't be either of them. What else can you see? This engine has a separate coal tender at the back. Do all the other engines have a separate coal tender? No. Thomas and Percy don't, so it can't be either of them. Now look at the engine's funnel. It's very tall. What about the other engines? Do they all have tall funnels? No. Gordon and Henry have short funnels, so it can't be either of them. Who's left? Edward and James. Edward and James both have round faces, separate coal tenders, and tall funnels. It's time for this engine to have a washdown. What color can you see now? Red. So it can't be Edward. It must be James. Hello, James. Henry puffed up Gordon's hill. The track was very icy. His wheels started to spin, but Henry puffed harder and harder. He inched his way over the top of the hill. Soon Henry arrived at the airport. He collected the presents and puffed across the island, making his deliveries. Now Henry didn't think about his lucky trucks once. All he could think about was delivering the presents on time. Children were waiting at the station. "Good old Henry!" they cheered. Henry felt very proud, and he steamed along the track. "Only one more delivery," puffed Henry. With or without his lucky trucks, Henry knew he mustn't let the children down. "I've delivered all the presents," chuffed Henry happily, "and without my lucky trucks. Maybe the trucks weren't so lucky after all." But when Henry saw the children's smiling faces, he knew he was still the luckiest engine.